Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the continuing coverage of the Super Smash TV 8th Annual Edition between our two middle-of-the-road runners here, Ladob and JonnyLink. This promises to be a very exciting matchup. I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23, and joining me on the commentary is the one and only two-time champion, Bryce. So, Ladob and JonnyLink, plenty of experience under their belts. They put in a lot of work. They have a PB that is a difference of less than 0.3 of a second. You would think we're not going to see a sweep this afternoon.
You would expect not. I mean, the PB, like you said, is something like 0.3 apart from one another. It's a pretty tight matchup here. I will say a little behind the curtain racer discussion going on before we start. Johnny not feeling too good the practice runs, but we won't delay this any further for you guys due to the issues of getting started. I'm going to get them going. Cards, make your prediction. Who wins game number one?
Boy, this could go either direction here. You could just flip a coin here. My gut is just telling me JonnyLink. No particular reason, as just flipping a coin here. I mean, you look at these two runners. Like I said, these are the two closest runners that we have in any particular matchup right here in this first round. So I would love to see this go 5, but my prediction for the game number one, I'll say JonnyLink takes this one. So Brycel's going to get these two runners off and running here. It is a best out of 5. First to win 3 games. We'll move on to the next round of the winners bracket, and they have quite the interesting prize.
Counted in.
You've got them counted in. Perfect. Well, I'll tell you what, the winner of this game, Bryce, gets a very interesting prize. They take on the defending champion, CHX42. The loser of this will go down to the second chance bracket and take on Infinite Mystery. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
As I said last year, to do with Jackamus and I think Space Colonizer. Yeah, you got to play the 1 seed in the next round, but every win on the top of the bracket counts as 2 compared to winning. Going to the bottom where you have to win each individual one. So it's important to stay up top as long as possible. Here we go, cards. Game number 1.
Absolutely. They both have their Razor Shield manipulations perfect. It's just a matter of who's going to get the right spawns, who's going to be in the right places, and we'll find out who gets our first hole shot of the match. Ladob burned his shield so quickly he got a second one, so I got a feeling, well, it doesn't matter. Even with the 2 Razor Shields, it is going to be Ladob with the hole shot here, and he's got a time of 40.5. 41.5 for JonnyLink, so a 1 second head start for Ladob going into collect power-ups. We'll see who gets our first orb of the match.
That first drop always so helpful and important. Grenades for both in the same spot.
Very interesting indeed. Ladob takes the grenades. JonnyLink decides to ignore them and then gets more grenades in the middle. JonnyLink buys a better drop with the Vitamin R. Love to see it.
3 grenades in a row here for Ladob. Not what you want to see. Hopefully
Fortunately.
Oh, there, finally, it's round, but it's a better drop. It's the orb.
That's a big drop there for Ladob, but while that happened, and now Vitamin R for Ladob to go with that orb, while that happened, JonnyLink unfortunately got sabotaged and lost most of his rocket clip, but despite that, he is still going to be in the lead with a 128. Now the 1 second lead has flipped. JonnyLink gained 2 seconds in that room. Just a little bit better drops, even though Ladob has the orb, but this is the room right here. Eat my shrapnel. 18 of the Mr. Shrapnels we got to take out, but there can be no more than 4 on a screen at any given point, because when that happens, you start to bleed time. You're looking at about, 42.5 seconds as the optimal time for this room.
That is what you're looking for, and honestly, so far, both of them are playing very solidly here. Liking the approach from both, slightly different, but both are viable. Their lines have been pretty good. We'll see who's going to be able to hold it down here. And obviously, Ladob, the advantage with that orb on deck. Maybe a half-second lead here.
Yeah, JonnyLink still has that 1 second lead, but that lead is going to vanish unless he sees an orb quick, because here in Total Carnage, having that orb is key, and if you're not getting the orb, you better get some good weapons. At least for the time being, the weapons are keeping JonnyLink afloat, but the longer he goes without that orb, Ladob is going to increase that lead, you would think double digits. And finally, an orb for JonnyLink. Now he's got to get back to the middle of the room, keep control of it, and he does so. Well done. So this would be a pretty close race going to the bonus room.
Yeah, so far I would say, but it would and should be a Ladob lead, depending on any sort of potential disasters here. Johnny having a bit of difficulty getting back to the middle, had to spend on the whole rocket set just to get back. Kind of a wash on that drop.
Yeah, he was struggling getting those purple shirts under control, and yeah, as you mentioned, lost a lot of that clip, so he wasn't really able to take advantage of it. But Ladob hasn't finished this room yet either. He does get some rockets. He's going to hold on to it for as long as possible so that he can have to take with him into
Well,
tank
well,
trouble.
well.
Look at that.
He managed to build his lead. Kind of surprising.
Yeah, kept it to a 1 second lead. So despite the fact that he didn't have the orb until about a quarter of the way through, he still kept even with Ladob and still has the 1 second lead. But Ladob, more importantly, has a full clip of rockets to start tank trouble. He'll be able to get the gunners off. JonnyLink would need a good weapon here to keep pace. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, generally when you get to this point in your attempting to PB, your ability to hold the middle and the in tank trouble is not quite there unless you've got good weapons. Let's see what Johnny can dial up.
Ladob made the most of his rockets before going back to get his refill there, so he's got both of his gunners down. JonnyLink still has the gunner on the right to contend with here, but he's done a good job keeping control of the middle. He's just ignoring the gunner, focusing on the foot soldiers, but these rockets could give him a shot here. Very nice.
Just got to get back to the middle now. The rockets do get the tank out the bottom door. This has been a very impressive showing from JonnyLink here after I just said what I said, but holding it down, both of them doing a great job.
We are going to have a lead change, though. It is going to be with Ladob. He had that razor shield to protect him. He's got a 430 into Mutoy Man, but JonnyLink with a 435, about a 5 second lead. That's less than an empty drop, Bry.
Both just playing a great, solid tank trouble there. I am highly impressed with what I'm seeing here thus far.
Yeah, the times aren't going to blow you away, but their gameplay in the arena was consistent, and they played very, very well, as you mentioned. Unfortunately, no ball buster for JonnyLink. Ladob did get the ball buster.
Grenades now for both, but again, as you say, the lead does belong to Ladob. JonnyLink gets bulleted down, trying to get the grenades, does get it.
Unfortunately, Ladob has he gets a spreader, but too late, can't die for it. He's gonna have to try but here's an invulnerability chance.
What a drop.
Boy, what a drop there for Ladob. He can use the rest of it, and more spreaders. Now, can he get another invulnerability to chain with that? Let's see.
This manual is kicking some serious, well, it was kicking some serious ass there, but he doesn't die. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Gets the next weapon, keeps going.
I'm impressed by Ladob's play there on that manual spreader there. And now he's got to the penultimate form here with the head popped off. He's got a massive lead over JonnyLink, who just popped off the second arm. He's got lobbers, but it's not going to be enough. Final form for Ladob, who is just absolutely pouring it on. He'll need another weapon after this grenade, and then gets picked off by the shrapnel. But he will be able to get to, well, he might be able to get to those lobbers. He still will.
Chest pop for JonnyLink, but Ladob should finish it here with these lobbers. Just needs to land the shots.
And he does.
Gets
Very
it done.
impressive.
Very solid opener for Ladob.
Yeah, it's going to be about a $150 Mutoy Man fight. That will play in a tournament.
Absolutely. Had to go manual with two spreaders. Didn't die on either. Maybe didn't land a ton of shots, but that not dying does make a difference.
Absolutely. So great arena gameplay from both, but Ladob clearly with the better weapons against Mutoy Man. He'll take the opening of this salvo here and be up 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty close through the regular arena. The drop luck definitely helping Ladob, but Ladob also played it really well. Despite not getting a primo spreader, was able to keep himself alive, only dying that once to that shrapnel on the final form.
Yeah, that was very impressive. I mean, no bad deaths, no bad orb losses. These two are the reason why they're seated as such. A solid arena gameplay. Mutoy Man didn't go JonnyLink's way. I mean, that time is not going to dictate, you know, how close this was going in. It's just that Ladob had better weapons, had a great opening manual to that spreader, and he's up 1-0. We'll see if JonnyLink can knot up the score in game number 2.
Well, just a quick little announcement while they reload their game. We have a quadruple header tomorrow starting at 12 p.m. Eastern, noon Eastern, with yours truly taking on Zelnarak. And then we've got 3 matches in that, like, I think it's the inside the 13 to 20 seed range going against one another. If Cards has that list, feel free to read it off. I'm going to get them ready behind the scenes.
Yep, I'll see if I've got it. So yes, we've got Brysol taking on Zelnorak, Ares Fire Tiger taking on J-Pop for Life, Scotty taking on the Real Zero, and Space Colonizer taking on Tapatio J. Oh, we've got some hot matches tomorrow. I'll be looking forward to see what these runners bring to the table tomorrow. Game number 2 coming up here. We'll see if JonnyLink can tie up this match or if Ladob can keep the train rolling and take a commanding 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 showdown.
Coolio apparently is watching this match from a Timmy's. Oh, man, like a true Canadian Coolio.
Oh, enjoy those Timbits.
Enjoy them biddies. All right. We are just moments away from game number 2. Ladob looking to take a stranglehold in this matchup. JonnyLink just needs to replicate that arena play, and the Mutoid luck should come. That's usually how she goes. But sometimes it doesn't work. That's why we play best of 5s, though, Cards. You just need to play the best you can, deal with what you're given, and eventually the game's going to break your way, hopefully before you lose 3. Here we go. Underway. Game 2.
All right, so they both have their Razor Shield. Last time it was Ladob who had the 1-second hole shot. Even with the second Razor Shield, he was being very aggressive with his Razor Shield. He'll probably do the same thing here in game number 2. And JonnyLink has already lost his Razor Shield.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there to break it that badly and then finish the room that late. But hey, another solid one for Ladob, a 40. And you know what? 42, not the worst thing in the world. Always used to say 42 and under. If you're looking for the tip top of the room, though, you want 40 and unders.
Absolutely. It's a 2-second lead this time for Ladob, and they both have a foot to start, which is not ideal. Invulnerability is nice to pair up with that foot when you don't have an orb, so Ladob can make use of that, but right now we're seeing some pure garbaggio.
Yeah, you know, sometimes the garbaggio is so bad you have to import it from Italy. But either way, rockets for Ladob. Drops have definitely favored Ladob early. JonnyLink is, man, JonnyLink's looking like a bit of a serial killer, collecting feet here.
And he's got 124 for Ladob. Not a great time, but he is going to have quite the lead. It's just JonnyLink has gotten absolutely nothing. A very late Razor Shield, not going to really help him all that much. It cleans up the room, but he's 11 seconds back at Ladob. Gets picked off by the swirl.
That will cost a second or two, it appears, for Ladob, based on the shrapnels on screen. Let's see if JonnyLink can do anything here with this mess.
Yeah, this is very tough. He's just not got any weapons. He's getting invulnerability, keys. There's an orb for Ladob with that Razor Shield. He's eating good right now, even with the death that he took. He should still have a good lead, but JonnyLink
gotta clean the area. Oh, that was a risky grab, but gets it.
Very nice, but he may lose some time as well. He's gotten to 4 shrapnels on that screen a couple of times. It's a 208 for Ladob, and yes, indeed, I believe that lead is going to further for Ladob here. It is going to be a 222. It is now a 14-second lead for Ladob.
So a solid lead here. Let's see if JonnyLink can start chipping away at it. Rockets to start, very nice. Dangerous here, very dangerous.
Yeah, he's having to dance a lot. He almost got that orb picked off a couple of times, but he's able to keep it under control. But Ladob continuing to get the goods. He's now got a Razor Shield. That should help him keep control of the middle the entire way.
So far, so good there for Ladob, adding a spreader to the mix. JonnyLink, meanwhile, has calmed the lotion there and is most definitely ready to rock and roll. Dancing around some shrapnel shots and just cutting down the enemy fairly efficiently. Now getting a Razor somewhat late. And that's going to be what? A 305 for Ladob exiting the room.
Solid time there for Ladob. JonnyLink has held his own, gets a late Razor Shield, has a spreader to help clean up this room. And you know what? He has gained some time. He's cut it to about 10.5 seconds. So JonnyLink very much still in this ball game. No player has a weapon to take with him into tank trouble.
And yeah, this is looking interesting here. JonnyLink seems to have the better firing lanes when all things are created equal. Let's see if they can replicate that decent tank trouble. No rockets coming in. Ladob steps into the bullets going for the nuke.
Yep, and that's kind of the first real major mistake we have seen Ladob make here, but does get a replacement orb. But JonnyLink gets an open and Razor Shield. That's a great drop. Let's see if he can get something to complement that. Dude, where's my weapons? Well, it's rockets for Ladob.
Now, rockets for Ladob, who got the orb replacement, did a good job of approaching it from underneath, using his invulnerability to set himself up, getting more rockets. Meanwhile, rockets for JonnyLink. Enemy are getting a little tight in, trying to get the spreader. Good grab.
Very nice patience there. Excellent grab. More rockets waiting from them, but in a tough spot.
He's ignoring him thus far, and I think he just says, I'd rather have the orb. Sometimes that is the better idea.
Yep, and it's going to help him out, but it is still going to be Ladob in the lead. But look at the time he's gained back. He's cut it to a 3.5 second deficit. Again, less than an empty drop separating the two going to the Mutoid Man. You'll love to see it. They both had the ball buster chance. Here we go.
Lobber to start here for Ladob, and gets zapped.
Oh, no.
But again, JonnyLink starts with an empty drop.
Now let's see if he can get the ball buster. He didn't get it last time. He gets it this time.
So it's pretty much a wash. Another empty drop. This is disgusting, game.
3 in a row. Do I hear 4? Nope, it's lobbers
Finally.
for both.
Goodness gracious. That ball buster is looming large for damage. Here's a spreader chance for JonnyLink.
Yep, Ladob has a spread, but that is way too far away. He'll never get to that. JonnyLink now a huge opportunity. He's got the lead right now, and then some. Both arms have popped off. Spreader Ladob's gonna have to go for a manual here. Get some rockets on the feet, which he's able to skirt around, trying to get the manuals in, just not able to get close enough, and does get run over.
Yeah, he did okay with it. Yep. He managed to stay alive long enough to get a little bit in there. He's a form back right now with slight weapon disadvantage, and it's about to get a lot worse because he's about to have no weapon.
Yep, and JonnyLink has the head popped off, ignores the rockets, waiting for the next drop. It's grenades, the good DPS there. Another lobbers for both runners here. Ladob needs a spreader, and he needs it right now to try and steal this one. It's looking good for JonnyLink to even this matchup as he's now on the final form.
Picking up the rockets, unfortunately gets run over, and Mutoid just kind of grinds the body in.
Oh
now,
my gosh.
getting blocked, opening the door here.
4, 3, 2, 1, same level 2, and grenades for JonnyLink. Good DPS. Ladob running out of time, even with the lobbers. Spreader is the worst weapon to have, but it still could be enough for JonnyLink to finish this off, but this one definitely will be, and it is a JonnyLink victory. He builds the lead on the Mutoid Man fight and hangs on, and what was a best of 5, Bri, is now a best of 3. You'll love to see it.
A 14-second deficit entering Total Carnage. Played a little better than Ladob in Total Carnage. Ladob made a huge mistake at the start of Tank Trouble, and honestly, despite that triple invulnerability start, JonnyLink riding one. That's bizarre. Look at that. Mutoid was still moving while exploding. That's a rarity.
Oh, it very most certainly was indeed, and that was just not Ladob's run there. As he, to add insult to injury, has to burn a 5-second penalty for taking that continue there. And JonnyLink, this time, he gets the better RNG in the Mutoid Man fight, and he played better from Total Carnage on.
Absolutely there, guys. Pardon me, I had a bit of a connection issue, but just to go back to the end of that fight for Ladob, Mutoid Man was rolling while exploding. That is a rare one. That is a rare one, boys and girls. You don't see that one too often. I'm going to check in with the racers and get them ready to go. I don't know what to say right now. JonnyLink playing a little better than Ladob.
Yeah, JonnyLink's arena gameplay has been better up to this point, but we'll see what happens in Game 3.
Hopefully we'll be ready to go, and hopefully my connection's going to cooperate. It's been a little spotty at the moment. Either way, I'm looking forward to this one, Cards. I'm looking for Ladob to clean up some of these firing lanes. They have been a little rough, despite having superior drops in the regular arena.
I agree. And while it didn't ultimately cost him in game number 2, I mean, Mutoy Man just didn't go Ladob's way. In a closer game, that could be a factor. So that's something we're going to want to keep our eyes on. Here we go. Game number 3, a pivotal, crucial game number 3 for these runners, because whoever wins this will have 2 opportunities to win the match. All right, so Ladob has had the hole shot both of the first 2 times here in Arena 1. We'll see if that holds true a 3rd consecutive game, or if JonnyLink can tighten this up here and get his first hole shot of the match. We'll see if he's able to time this. I believe, yes, indeed, it is going to be a JonnyLink hole shot, a negligible hole shot at that, but a hole shot nonetheless for JonnyLink.
Both with a solid 40. Let's see if they can get those early orb drops that have been eluding them thus far.
Yeah, these runners really haven't been getting too many orbs in collect power-ups. Let's see if that luck changes. Grenades for Ladob and invulnerability for JonnyLink. Yet again, nothing to write home about for either runner, but it is an orb, a second drop orb for JonnyLink. First time that we've seen him get an orb in this room, I do believe.
Yeah, I believe it's only the second one we've seen in this room thus far in 6 opportunities. So not batting a very good percentage. This ain't baseball.
No, not at all. And Vitamin R now for JonnyLink's got to dodge all those shrapnels here, and great time here for JonnyLink. It is going to be an 80-second time into Eat My Shrapnel. A late orb for Ladob. He's going to keep himself afloat, but it is JonnyLink this time. Now he's got the double-digit lead heading into Eat My Shrapnel.
Yeah, most definitely. Now I've got a double-digit lead. Ho, ho, ho.
It's a 13-second lead into Eat My Shrapnel. It's going to be very crucial
Oh!
for Ladob.
He drops the orb. Let's see if he's going to pay for this or if he can recover.
No, that's really the first major mistake JonnyLink has made in the arena play so far.
He's been a little loosey-goosey at times, but he's been able to defend that orb. Ladob, meanwhile, escapes that early swarm attempt. Will be definitely protected here. It's a 203 for JonnyLink, and Ladob is setting up pretty nicely here.
Oh, he's doing pretty well. So he's got one more to take off, and this should be nope, this will be the last one. He is now 13 seconds, still 13 seconds back, but now this is where he's going to cut into that lead if he can keep the orb healthy. And JonnyLink right now, he has been dealt trash here in Total Carnage.
I've been impressed with what he's done without an orb, though, along the way. Yeah, he died there, but that kind of to your advantage. At least you get invulnerability out of it. Killed a bunch of enemies out the door. He's been pretty solid with decision-making, positioning, and movement.
Wow.
But, man,
these are some of the worst Total Carnage traps I've seen in recent memory. Finally gets something. The game throws him a razor shield, but he needs that orb quick.
The nuke definitely viable here, deciding, I guess, to just focus on letting the spawns keep happening. Meanwhile, Ladob not getting a lot, but holding the middle very nicely and just plowing the enemy under.
Yeah, you don't need a lot to get a good time in Total Carnage. You just have to have good firing lanes. Obviously, you'd like to get the weapons to help expedite this room, like this rocket right here. He's trying to hold it as long as he can, and he's going to have half a clip, a little less than half a clip going into tank trouble. So right now, Ladob in the lead. Look, JonnyLink, though, does finally get a replacement orb. So once again, anybody's game.
Anyone's game here. That evened it up. That orb loss really hurting Johnny. Let's see if it can switch it back around, and it's time for some product placement cards. Nail it, go.
Oh, Taco Bell, product placement with Taco Bell. Another close game going into tank trouble. They've been close every single time up to this point. Let's see what happens with tank trouble. Invulnerability for Ladob, both gunners down. Now he can pick up the invulnerability.
Oh yeah, no, you see that coming. He was swinging wild. That foot threw his timing off, and he was swinging too widely. Got taken on the orb. Still alive, though, so rampaging around. Ladob looking to build that lead, having those rockets at the start.
Yep, and Ladob has some more rockets waiting for him. He's got to watch out for the shrapnel, watch out for the purple shirts. Very good. He's back to the middle.
Nice sidestep on that shrapnel there, Cards.
That was some very nice side strap in there from Ladob. Very excellent work, and he's going to have the lead going in the Mutoy Man fight, and I'd say a considerable one at that.
Things are looking rough for Johnny. This has been some very, very much F-tier drops.
Yeah, this has been the opposite to what happened to JonnyLink in game number 1 and 2. Right now, yeah, he's not only has he, dropped the orb a couple of times, he's not been getting weapons to really keep him afloat. He's going to be 20 plus seconds back. Rockets to start for Ladob here. Can he get the ball buster? Yes.
Man, I got to say, I was impressed last year, but I think the percentage on ball busting is higher than last year, and that's high praise.
Absolutely. It's a 23-second lead. Ladob is 2 for 2 now on ball buster opportunities. He would have been 3 for 3 if he didn't get picked off by a laser beam. So Ladob couldn't get to those lobbers because Mutoid Man was sitting on it. There's a spreader. JonnyLink could not die for it. Good grab.
Oh,
look
spreader.
At this.
Look at this indeed. Johnny's getting a pretty good manual before he died. Unfortunately, only got about a third of the shots off. But Ladob's going to be able to take a little more advantage. Not pressing as much there, I guess, concerned about dying. But yeah, gets 2 forms off of it. Well done.
Excellent work there for Ladob. He has got the lead. He is looking good here in game number 3. JonnyLink with some lobbers here. Lobbers for Ladob as well. Consistent damage, but if the weapons keep being even, that's not going to be enough for JonnyLink. A spreader for Ladob. Good decision. I think that would have been too far away. He's going to keep now he's going to try for the manual, maybe hope for an invulnerability. It's another lobber.
Oh, Johnny dies with the spreader manual. Can he get it? He does.
Yes.
Mutoid runs away, though. He won't get too much time with it.
Nope. So they're both on the same 4, though. He's caught up. A lobber for Ladob, and JonnyLink takes a death. And
Ladob is missing so many shots. Final form.
Ladob now, or JonnyLink now with a lobber here. It is still advantage Ladob, but you're right. He missed a lot of shots, and now a key. JonnyLink has a chance. He's now in final form with grenades waiting for him. Rockets the worst DPS, and JonnyLink can't get to those grenades because Mutoid Man, a key. Is this enough rockets for Ladob to finish off the fight?
Johnny gets run over. Johnny gets run over with a grenade. Another key for Ladob.
JonnyLink with lobbers. Another key for Ladob. The game is taking it away from Ladob, but JonnyLink hits the mine. There is no pleasure dome game. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh!
Was that 4 or 5 in a row? Do I hear 6? Holy smokes! And JonnyLink is going to steal it away by a second. That is the ugliest, most disgusting sabotage I have ever seen in my life. Ladob got absolutely hosed. Wow. JonnyLink was dead in the water, and Final Form Mutoid Man does what Final Form Mutoid Man does best. But I have never, in all of the 8 years I've done commentary, Bryce Salt, have ever seen such disgusting drops in the Final Form of Mutoid Man to snatch the victory away from Ladob. That is a heartbreaker right there.
You like to talk about immaculate spreaders. That was the most immaculate key fest I've ever seen.
Oh, no question about it. And if no one gets that clipped, for sure I'll get it clipped, because that is going to be on the highlight reel for years to come.
Oh my goodness. That feels like something you should bury in a hole and forget ever happened. What was that?
Yeah, that was 5 or 6 keys in a row. I wasn't really, unfortunately, paying attention. I probably should have done a better job, but I've never seen such a key avalanche. See, this is something you'd like to see if you were playing Zelda Randomizer, not Smash TV. So now Ladob is going to have to shake this game off and focus now on game number 4 with his winner's bracket on the line here. JonnyLink, somehow or other, comes from behind. He's 1 win away from meeting up with CHX in the second round. Let's see if Ladob can equalize and force a decider.
I mean, if you're Ladob and you end up losing this match, you can hold your head high and say, I would have won if not for literally half of a pleasure dome in one form of Mutoid Man.
Yeah, I have never seen anything like that. I don't think I've ever even seen it when you played the game, Bryce, where you get key. I mean, that is just unprecedented. That's got to be like a 1,000,000 to 1 long shot.
That is the opposite of Prince Leaf getting 6 rockets in tank trouble. That is for sure.
Oh, absolutely. It's the anti-Princely, if you want to call it.
We are underway here, guys. Game number 4. Ladob needs to win this to force a deciding game 5. JonnyLink has got 2 shots to win it on the trot here, and it's going to be a lead for Ladob.
Yep, this will be his 3rd hole shot out of 4, and it's going to be another solid 40 time, a low 40 versus a mid-upper 41, about a 1.5-second lead for Ladob. So I'll tell you what, JonnyLink can't get away with that kind of arena gameplay in game number 4. He's got to tighten it up and get back to where he was in games 1 and 2.
Well, both getting an early spreader here, so fairly equal. Both getting invulnerabilities in the middle. Both trying to use it a little as a weapon. A nuke now versus a foot. Still pretty close here. No one really getting an advantage.
No, but there is some vitamin R for JonnyLink, so the weapon advantage here belongs to JonnyLink, who's up 2 games to 1. But here's an orb chance for Ladob. Gonna have to watch out. Does get the grab.
But the lead will belong to JonnyLink with a little better drops of the rockets before that orb ever showed up. 122 versus about a 129.
Yep, 7 seconds, but more importantly has the orb in Eat My Shrapnel. JonnyLink not really getting anything to help him out at the moment. He's getting some feet.
That swirl tried to go for the old ambush, but Ladob recognized the danger and got away just in time.
All right, rockets though for JonnyLink should help stop the bleeding here. And does get an orb, so that's huge for JonnyLink. He'll keep that 9-second lead, you would think. Ooh, Ladob got dicey for a moment, Pry.
Yeah, a little dangerous there. JonnyLink just playing to get out of the room, not worrying about that razor shield. Take the small time penalty. About a 2:06.
Yep, about a 2:05. Ladob has a 2:12. Actually gained about a 1.5 there. So, or wait, it was 7 seconds. What am I doing?
Something in the 6-7. It's negligible. There goes
negligible.
Orb drop for Ladob early in total carnage. Oh no.
He could not.
But Johnny drops his.
What is going on here? And Ladob gets a replacement orb. Rockets though for JonnyLink to help him keep afloat, but what is going on? Both of the arena gameplays are falling apart, and another drop orb for Ladob.
Johnny's case, there was a shrapnel that was exploding, and he moved a little too far back trying to dodge it. It was a tight fit, though. Just kind of unfortunate luck. Ladob, though, definitely maybe struggling a bit here on a bit of a tilt, perhaps. We'll see. Right now, though, it's going to come down to who can just clean it up or who's going to get those better drops.
Yeah, the unforced errors are real on Ladob's side, and JonnyLink is going to further that lead. He's got a 3:05 into the bonus room. Tick, 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 tick. That lead is going to grow. A nuke there for Ladob. Good grab there, but that room is still not finished for Ladob. Could we see a swirl of shame here?
It's going to be close. We did see a swirl in the previous.
There it is.
The previous one for Johnny. So evening up that part of it, if you like doing the stats. This is going to be almost. It looks like about a 24-second lead.
25-second lead for JonnyLink. Now he does not have the
what
orb.
A drop! Johnny gets a rocket to start, massive, especially when you're without an orb. And we invoked Prince Leaf's name. Perhaps will we see the rocket chain?
Well, that's 2 in a row. Well, not going to be 6 in a row, but spreader, still nice.
It's a weapon. When you don't have an orb, these weapon drops are king. Rockets again coming in for Ladob, so should be able to clean up the gunners here.
Yeah, no problem cleaning up the gunners here, but now he's got the second one down on the left. JonnyLink, the weapons have dried up now. A razor shield for Ladob for the time being will help him keep control of the middle, but he would love to get some weapons. Dude, that is not a weapon.
Yeah, Ladob really wants to clean this up. And look at that, despite having no orbs since Total Carnage, Johnny out on a solid 422.
Yeah, he really cleaned up. The game gave him some great weapons, and now he is in a good position here to lock up this match.
Finally, an orb drop. Not an ideal location, but at least it starts away from the door. But, Ladob just grabs it in time, made the decision, and made it work.
Now, can he get control is the question. He is struggling. But he is going to finish up the room, and he will get some time back. It is a 27, actually still lost a couple seconds, 27 seconds. It's definitely manageable.
Johnny's had a couple lobbers so far, but nothing else really doing. and has been really focusing on damaging Mutoid. He's already popped 2
And now
forms.
it's Ladob starting with the invulnerability. He'll focus on the gunners, then go for the ball buster.
Another
one.
Oh my goodness.
He has to nail this ball buster. He's got to nail it. And got it.
He got it on the second swing through there. Johnny, meanwhile, manualing a spreader, has popped the chest. Johnny poured.
Oh, and he gets another spreader. This is going to do it. This is going to do it, I say.
He just... Oh, and little... Oh,
now
he gets an invulnerability! Oh,
it.
my goodness! Final form is coming now! That lobber could do it! Johnny could have a sub-6 on the way out the door!
Oh, absolutely, but he's missing some shots here. Can he get the sub-6? Mutoid Man's trying to prevent it.
He gets it! Good job to Johnny! A sub-6 will seal it. JonnyLink will take this match 3-1.
I'll tell you what, imagine if JonnyLink didn't drop that orb early and he still had those drops. We're talking PB here. 5:58, a blazing time for JonnyLink to finish it up. He wins the match 3-1, and we're going to be talking about that game 3 for a while because that was the ultimate momentum swing right there, Bri.
Johnny says only his second sub-6 ever. Well played. That's a sub-6 with no orb since Total Carnage. So for those who are like, oh, you need an orb, it helps. Trust me, you need those weapon drops to get you through tank trouble. But played it well. That's the key. Played very well, and JonnyLink's advancing.
Absolutely, and Ladob unfortunately made some unforced errors after getting a couple of orbs and just never really got into game number 5.
And honestly, we should be going to a game number 5.
I agree.
If not for that key fest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is, again, I'm going to be working on getting that clipped for you guys if you guys haven't worked on it already, because that is definitely one of the moments that I'll probably remember for quite some time, Bri, as Ladob finally finishes off the Mutoid Man. But unfortunately, I mean, in a sense, I mean, if it's any consolation for Ladob, he doesn't have to take on CHX in the next round.
Regardless of that, guys, congrats to JonnyLink. GG's to Ladob, who gamed out there, just couldn't quite do it that well. And as you see a live look at the bracket here, we are looking at that. But remember, guys, tomorrow, this is only match today, but tomorrow, a quadruple header starting at 12 p.m., noon Eastern. We are going to have the action for you here on GG Speedruns. I believe we have Jacobus and Sigma Fan on the call, and cards, if available, will be dropping in as well for some of those. Be sure to check out the action right here on GG Speedruns.
Absolutely. It is going to be a lot of fun. We've got some very exciting matchups. As you can see, our bracket is starting to take shape a little bit here, and the matches are just going to keep on coming at you here on GG Speedruns. But